Hey, Cathy McLeish here, and when was the last time somebody called you a effing liar? I was thinking about that today when I was thinking about this video, and it's been a while. It's been a while. And I used to hear statements like, you wouldn't know the truth if it hit you in the face. I used to be called a liar on a daily basis, and the thing is, I was a liar. I didn't think I was a liar. That's the problem with alcohol and the alcoholic, is we cannot see the truth. In any 12-step program, and most addictions are handled by 12-step programs these days, and it's a very, very wise thing because you break down and you get to the root of why a person is choosing that drink, that drug, the pornography, the food. Why are we doing it? What is it about us? And until you get to the root, we will either go back to that answer, the alcohol, or we will find another answer. We will just switch addictions over and over again. And so why do we have to get to the bottom of that with a 12-step program? Because even as simple as step one, we are powerless and we can't do it ourselves. But step two talks about the insanity. And I know that word, insanity alone, is so offensive. And I know the breakdown for me that really helped was I was unable to see the truth about my drinking. And that was really true. I can remember going to a therapist, and he wanted me and gave me this homework, and I was to come back to him with, an outline, a bunch of stories about how my life was out of control because of my alcoholism. And when we started, he asked me to be as honest as I could. And I'm like, why wouldn't I be honest? Of course, I'll be honest. I'm paying you $100 an hour. I'll be honest. And then I proceeded, and at the end, he said, well, can I just ask you to go back over that and be more honest? And I didn't know what he meant. I had no idea what he meant. But from his perspective, I was just scratching the surface because I could not be honest about what was going on in my life. I couldn't be honest about how I was maneuvering relationships, approaching different situations. In an alcoholic's world, everything is everybody else's fault. And the gentle version of that is I have to do that because if everything's my fault, I'm going to go jump off a cliff. And I don't think that's the end game for us. I think we are supposed to live a better life. So we cushion ourselves from all of the ugly that we are causing by putting it off on someone else, putting it off on her, on him, on that boss. And then when we get to a place where we put down the drink, we can look at those things one by one. But even without the drink, we don't automatically see everything that we were deceiving ourselves about. It's still kind of a protective mechanism that we have until we can grow enough, mature enough to handle these things one by one. So as an alcoholic, I'm a big fat liar. That's what I am. But to some extent, I'm unaware of it. And that's the insanity of it. So I tell myself I'm only hurting myself. But you know what? I'm a thief. I'm a thief in my world, almost in every area, if not in every area. And some people will be so offended by that. They'll be like, I never stole a thing in my life. Now, I stole when I was younger. I stole a lot of materialistic things. I went through this time in college where it was kind of like this game we played, and we stole a lot of things. I can remember one time the combination of stealing and lying. And I was in a drugstore, and I stole a pint of schnapps, and the guy watched me. I believe he saw me do it, and I went out to my car and he followed me out. So I'm 19 years old, and I shove it under the front seat of my car, and he comes up to the window of my car and knocks on the window. I roll it down, and he is like, I think you took something that didn't belong to you. And I was like, no, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, I think you took some alcohol. And I said, I am not a thief. Straight on, straight like that. And he looked at me, and he didn't know what to do with that. He had seen me take it. He had accused me of taking it. And he was watching me lie straight to his face, and he didn't know what to do with that. And so he shrugged his shoulders and he walked away. And that's what we do to people. We make them question their own eyesight, their own hearing, their own world around them and the things that are happening, because we are so certain of our good intentions, of our innocence, of our desire to not be who we really are. And so we come at the world with this sense of honesty that is totally fictitious. And other people can see it, but we cannot. And the thing about that dishonesty is that other people pay the price, just like that guy, just like that store. And can I do a little break here, commercial break, and say that in recovery, when you are a thief, like I was a thief, there's a saying, what do you get when you sober up a horse thief? You get a sober horse thief. So I was still a thief. And when we did that work to break me down and to look at everything that I did, I had a mentor who had me calculate all through the years everything that I had physically taken from other people, especially merchants. And then she doubled it. And then she said, this is how you are going to pay it back. And in many situations, I couldn't pay it back to that specific person. So there was another way that we designed that I would pay it forward somehow to help other people. But it took me 15 years, and it should have, to make amends for that thievery that I, did for fun, because I think it didn't matter, because I think people owed me this or that. I had all kinds of reasons where I would, cheat my worker out of the hours that I worked, And so if we really were to be seriously honest with ourselves, are we honest? Are we liars? Are we thieves as alcoholics? And if we can just scratch the surface at that truth, we can come to know that we need help. And the help is for our benefit. It's like that lie, when I get on the other side of that lie and I can look at the truth of what alcohol is doing to me, I can get pieces of my life back. I can get pieces of my self-esteem and my self-worth back. Because when I'm in full-blown alcoholism and I am lying and I am cheating and I am in that insanity of thinking I am seeing the world this way, but everybody else is seeing it that way, and they're wrong. When I'm in that insanity, I basically have no life. Alcohol is my life. And the final insanity is thinking that that's enough. So if I'm hearing this and I am a liar at my core, if I have to fabricate truths in order to get this person off my back, in order to get out of this obligation, in order to get my time with my drink, then I may be an alcoholic. Another lie I tell myself is that I can stop anytime I want, and yet I don't. And so in secret, what I did was I'd be like, let me test that theory. Let me stop till Sunday, okay? And it would be Thursday, and by Friday I would be drinking. And then I would think, oh, that was stupid anyways. Why would I stop on the weekend? And then I would start on Monday, and I would think, let me just stop till Friday. I'll just drink on the weekend. And by Tuesday, I was drinking. And this wasn't something that I would tell to people. I wouldn't even hardly acknowledge it myself. But during my drinking, I started this, period where I would try to stop, and I could not stop. And then what would I tell myself? I would say, I really didn't want to stop. If I wanted to stop, I could stop. Well, let me challenge the heavy drinker, the drinker that thinks drinking might be getting out of control, the person that drinks that doesn't think they have a problem, but everybody around them thinks they have a problem. Let me challenge that person to stop for a week, for 30 days, to make themselves accountable to another person that they are going to stop and see if they can do that. And if you can go a week, if you can go 30 days, one, good for you. Does it mean you're not alcoholic? No, not necessarily. If you do a little reading, there's all different kinds of drinkers, and some can stop and then start again. But if you don't see some serious, good changes in 30 days around you, I would be very surprised. And if you do, then ask yourself, do I want to go back to drinking and give up these different gifts I've been given in this 30 days that I did this trial of not drinking? We as drinkers, as alcoholics, we pour alcohol into our body. It goes into our bloodstream and it goes up to our brain like almost instantly. That's why I drink a drink so I can dance. That's why I drink a drink so I can make that phone call. I mean, not today, but that's why I did that. And we wonder why our thinking changes, why our inhibitions go down, why we can do or say the things that we couldn't before, good or bad. It's because we put a drug in our system and it has changed the makeup of our brain. And it will continue to do that as long as we do that. And the damage will get greater and greater. And our inability to see the truth will become stronger and stronger. And so when somebody else says, I think you have a problem, I think you are a liar, I don't believe you anymore, you don't know the meaning of the word truth, there is something in that. There is some truth in that I need to hear, because I can't hear it anymore on my own. What's up here? I had a friend that said, my mind is a dangerous neighborhood. I should never go in there alone. What's up here is not helping me anymore. And if I want to move to a better place, even if I need to move to a better place to keep myself out of prison, to keep myself with a roof over my head, to keep myself with an income coming in at that job, even if it's only out of necessity, if I want to move there, I'm going to have to listen to somebody else's truth besides my own. Because the thinking that I have has me in the position that I'm in. I keep telling myself it's going to be different. I can do it this way. I can do it with that person. I can stay away from that drink and only drink this. And I think it's going to be different. But that's part of the insanity. That's part of the lie that I'm telling myself, is that I can do something different and the outcome will be different. So if I want to get on the other side, I'm going to have to do something different. There's a saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And the unfortunate truth for the drinker is that things don't just stay the same, even in recovery. If I do nothing, I don't stay the same. I don't stay this person. I go backwards because my thinking has always been a problem for me. It's like having one hand tied behind my back sometimes when I'm going through life. Automatically, my thinking is a little skewed. But I have these tools. I have a support system. I have a way of living that works. It really works. And when I use that, my life goes very smoothly. And if you are drinking, if you think you may have a problem, is your life going smoothly? Is there a bunch of things hanging over your head? Is there a monkey on your back? Because those days are over for me. Do I run into problems? I do. And with what I have today, the support system, the tools, the person I am today that can face things head on and be honest about what I'm looking at, that person can get through things one day at a time. But that person back then, it just got worse. It just got worse until all of my answers were gone. And I had to ask somebody else, do you know how to help me? I don't know what to do. You look like you got it going on. You look like you have come out on the other side and you're doing well. You even almost seem happy. What is that about? That's what I had to do. And when I got on the other side, I became that person. I became that person for other people. You look like you know how to do life a little bit. You look like you're not afraid all the time. Like you're almost even happy. What's that about? So, to be a liar, to be dishonest, to tell myself that I can stop anytime I want, it's not a great place to be. And if I can just admit that and ask for help, a little bit of help, even a conversation, an opinion of somebody that I know still cares about me, is still in my corner, that is like a brave thing for an alcoholic to do. And those brave things add up to super great things. So don't cheat yourself. That's the thing we do. We cheat ourselves. We say, I'll do it then. I'll do it if this happens. And in the meantime, life keeps going by. And we cheat ourselves out of another 10 years, out of another 15 years, out of another 20 years, out of children's relationships, out of a relationship with our spouse, out of a job promotion, out of a dream coming true. Don't cheat yourself. I'm Cathy McLeish. Thank you for listening. Thank you for just bridging that gap between total dishonest thinking and maybe asking someone else to help you see the truth about what's going on in your life. You will be happy you did. I promise. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and follow. And please, if any of this helps you, share it with another person that you think might get some good use out of it. Thanks.